Good morning, everyone. Or actually, it's the afternoon. Sorry. Hello, everyone. It's Winona from Dairy Barn Art, and welcome back. Welcome if you're new. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and give me a comment. Well, today's my husband's birthday, and I have to make him a card. Nothing like leaving it until the last minute, but we're going to do it. But before we start, let's do a little everyday gratitude. And today it's by Thomas Merton, and he says, I am a gift. All that I am is something that's given, and given freely. Being doesn't cost anything. There's no price tag and no strings attached. When I consider I am a gift, what feelings arise? Isn't that a wonderful way to think about yourself? We are so hard on ourselves. Just when you're feeling that day where, nothing's going right, just try to feel like that. Just say to yourself, I am a gift. And ask yourself what that feels like. Anyway, we're going to make a card. So I've assembled some things together here. I'm actually trying to be organized this time. I have this close to my heart stamp set and dies. And what I do when I buy new stamp sets is I stamp out a few of them and cut them out. And then I put them in a little baggie here, and I label it so I know where to go find it in my filing system. And when I need to make a card, I've already got these ready. Or if I'm bored, I have a little place where I keep all these, and if I'm bored and I want to do some coloring, which I never find myself bored, but I can just grab a few of these and color away. We also need today, this, or actually I'm using today, the Tim Holtz wood grain embossing folder from Sizzix. So we're going to use that. We're going to use the Stitch Circle set. This is one I got from AliExpress, but all kinds of companies make them. And I used to, when I was healing from chemotherapy, I would put where I bought everything from, and I would put the date I ordered it, the date I received it, what it was called or what I call it, and the price. I stopped doing that as I started feeling better, but this just gave me an idea. I was spending way too much money even at AliExpress, and then I cataloged them, and this stands for nesting, and then E5, I do A 1 to 5, and then I B 1 to 5, and so on. So this is E5, so that way I can easily flip through and find what I'm looking for. And on this side, it's stitch circles, and on this side, it's inside-outside stitch circles. But this is the one I used on this card. I'm going to use on this card. We need some cardstock, and I'm using 110-pound white cardstock from Michaels. It just makes a nice card base. We'll put that to the side here. I'm going to use two papers. These weren't 6 by 6. These were 12 by 12 inch papers that I got from Close to My Heart a few years ago. And one side is embossed a bit, just the color embossed, and the other side has the white on. And I have quite a few of these papers. What I did was I thought in my wisdom that if I cut them up and kept them by somewhere, which I never had them near, that I would use them. Well, look how many I have at my desk. So what I'm going to do now is I keep this underneath my desk. Oh, these are other papers as well. And try to use them every time I make a card. Try to go to this pile here. And that's what I did. So we used two sheets, one green and one of the rusty colored sheets. I'm going to need my score pal, and with my score pal I'm going to score my card base right away. And this is a 8.5 by 11 sheet cut in half on 5.5 inches wide, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4, and then we'll fold it and just run the whatever that's called, stylus, embossing, I don't know what that's called, bone folder. So put that away. I'm going to use some of these. These are from Stampin' Up. I've had them for years, and I need to use them up before the sticky goes away. I might use my Tombow Multi, which is actually really disgusting looking, but it looks as bad as my nails, which I apologize, but I get them done next week. because my art glitter needs to be cleaned out really well. It's not functioning very well for me. And what else are we using here? We're going to use Nouveau drops in, what color is this? Crystal drops in Copper Penny. And I keep them upside down in here when I'm using them. This I picked up from an Etsy store when I picked up some other stuff. And it's actually meant to hold your glue upside down. Closed, of course. And that way your art glitter glue will always be ready to use. But I use a big dangle on mine, so it doesn't work that way. Doesn't quite fit that. I'm going to use my ATG gun. If that fails me, I've pulled out an old Tombow permanent adhesive roller. And what else here? I'm trying to think. Oh, markers. These Spectrum Noir markers that I got from Close to My Heart. And if you want to just get into alcohol markers, these are a wonderful start because they have the light, the medium, and the dark. So they're very easy to blend with. You're not guessing what colors you should pull out or anything. And I find I've put my Copics away for a while, and I grab these all the time lately. So anyway, let's start. This is actually a dairy cow, but we don't have dairy cows. We have beef cattle. And I can't remember if this is the one I started with. Let me see the dark here. Yeah, I think. So I'm going to make this look a little bit like a Simmental, and it's not going to look perfect because I'm not the best at this. But I'm just going to start. I'm just going to color in, and I'll maybe just fast forward through the coloring and play some music for you. And don't worry if you go out of the line on the hair, because the hair does go out of the line. And kind of color in circles. Do a little bit, and I'm going in with my dark. And the stamp kind of shows you where to place your dark. And I find if you want a really fine tip, you gotta hold this really close down to the bottom. Okay, I think I'm done coloring, and now I can start assembling the card. I've pre-cut most everything, except I didn't pre-cut this. This is the same size, excuse me, as the card base, but as you can see, if you look, the die doesn't, or the embossing folder doesn't come the whole way around. So I have my cutting mat here somewhere. I'm going to just trim this up a bit. I don't need to take much off. Just little slivers. This side a little bit more. And then a little bit off of this side. Make sure you're cutting straight. I struggle with straight. I can tell you color, but I can never get anything on straight, ever. So I'm just going to set these to the side for now, and I'm going to do a little bit of assembling. This embossed piece is going to get glued on the front, and because it's embossed and may not stay very well, I am going to use my ATG gun. And I'm really down to the last bit, so I'm of this old tape. I hope I might have another roll of it. And then I'll order myself some more. And hopefully I'll be using it better again. But I'm going to put a lot on. Yeah, it's starting to act up on me. Because I want this to hold. This is going to be a little bit heavy, and I don't want it to fall off the card. So I looked at it before, and I noticed that there wasn't much. Remember, ATG, you get one chance. There wasn't much room on the top or the bottom, but there was a little more room on the sides. So hopefully... Well, that takes me right to the top, but leaves me a little room on the bottom. Okay, I need to do a little bit of stamping. Oh, I also forgot I'm using VersaFine because my Memento Tuxedo Black is put away, and that was what I found in my drawer. So I need to stamp "We Heard It's Your Birthday," and the VersaFine stamps beautifully. We'll put that down. Just leave it sit for a minute and then pull it up. Beautiful. And I have a stamp chamois. This is an Lawn Fawn one. It's been well loved, but it still works. And I like to keep my stamps clean. And this one says "Holy Cow." What did you think of my attempt at a Simmental cow? I'll find out when I give it to him. And the bucket is not a milk bucket, it's a chop bucket. So it has chop in. And chop is usually like ground up oats. Okay, so we need to leave this dry for a few seconds. And then I've pre-cut some more of those stitch circles. And we're going to put them behind these stitch circles, and it just leaves a nice rim around it and adds a pop of color to this white card base. But I think VersaFine, that's the only thing about VersaFine, is it takes a little bit to dry, and I don't want to be adding glue to it when it's wet. I think what I can use my Tombow. I was going to use my ATG, but I can use my Tombow. When I made cards, I used Tombow glue a lot. I stopped using it when I did junk journals because art glitter glue, you just need a tiny bit of it, and it dries clear, because I struggle with glue. I joke that I missed that week in kindergarten when they taught us how to glue things. A girl and I at work used to joke about that. And actually, we found out later that there's a good chance that we probably were in the same kindergarten class in the city. That's really something, because like Regina's not huge, but at that time it probably had about 100,000 people in it. And to work somewhere and then find out that someone you met at work that you really like, a friend, she went to the same school as you did and was in the same grade as you were. So okay, so my plan is I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to put "Holy Cow." I'm going to put actually this underneath it. "We heard it's your birthday." And then I'll put the bucket over here and the cow here. And that's what my card's going to look like. I think he'll like it. So first thing I have to do is get the "Holy Cow" down. And you know, I think I'm going to stick with my Tombow. It's working. I have another bottle of Tombow I'll have to open up because this one's, oopsie, it's almost all gone. I want a fair amount on here because it has to stick to that embossed piece on the back, but I don't need to take it right to the end. So I'm going to slide this under here. And I think I'll put it there. And then it's, we heard it's your birthday. I thought he was coming in the house just a few minutes ago. I heard the tractor pull up to the house. I don't know if you can hear that on the video or not. And I heard him come in. And then I heard him back in the tractor and it drove away. He's moving cows today. He's bringing them home because it snowed and the cows want to come home. But I just want to get this kind of nice. There we go. Okay. And then this one. Yeah, so he's bringing the cows home today, and I don't know if he's bringing them all home or just some of them or what he's doing. Or just like we have cows in different pastures, so I'm not sure what he's doing. But I thought he might like this birthday card. And then I'm going to put, see how this is a good sign that you're coloring is you're getting enough marker on there because you can see it through the back. And that's why I put this down. It makes it easier to color on. And I'm going to load this up with little, and actually I should tell you, I got the inspiration for this card off of the website, off the internet, and I'll have to look up where I got it from, and I'll add a link to her. I think it's a blog post at the bottom. I changed it up a little, not too much, but oops. I often will do that, you know, if you don't have an idea in your head. Actually, I was looking more for the coloring of the cow, and then I saw this card and thought, I can do that, and I just changed it a bit. Okay, come on. Take all these little things off the back. You would not believe the amount of garbage I have up here with crafting and paper crafting and quilting and vinyl and that. Oh my goodness, I must have a big garbage bag every 2 weeks of just my stuff up here that I go through. Okay, and then we'll put, I guess that's where she's going, that's where she landed. And we'll grab a couple for this guy. So he's taking her out some chop to get her, encourage her to come back in. Because all you have to do is, years ago, it's kind of funny. I'm a city girl. I grew up in the city. And when we moved to the farm, our other yard, Dave got a few cows and some chickens and a few pigs. And we had little kids. And then he took off for work away from home. And I was left to learn how to do all this stuff myself. And anyway, the pigs got out one day and his brother came over. And his brother went out to help me. He was running after those pigs, trying to catch them. I went out with the chop pail and I banged it, and the pigs came running. They knew that they wanted food. So anyway, that's nearly done, but I think I'm going to add some more stuff to this. I think I'm going to add, and I've had these for years and never used them, and I think some of them I'm just going to have to throw out because they don't work anymore. I better check this on paper before I do it on the card. Nuvo drops are great if you know, you don't have to buy all the colors of the little dots and that, but you need to leave them sit. And you also, maybe I'll do 2 here. You also have to use them. or like anything, they dry up. Let's put a little one there. I don't want to put another one there because I already... Everyone says odds. Sometimes odds don't work. Down here, odds don't work. So I'll have to set this card to the side for a bit for my husband before I can give it to him, because these take a while to dry. But what do you think? Holy cow, we heard it's your birthday, and then that cow sticking out there, and then the wood grain in the back. I think that's awesome. Anyway, that's it. I wish you lots of luck, love, and happiness until we meet again. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.